Holy, talk about a great way to start off the week today, guys. We had the Dow Jones, the S&P 500, and the NASDAQ all hit all-time highs today as the Russell went up 1.7% on the day. So we're going to break down the indexes, which again, 3 of them hit all-time highs today, and we're going to go over 5 stocks, 5 companies, all of which are set to report earnings tomorrow. We're going to break down the charts, what I think, the earnings estimates, revenue, all that good stuff. So hit the like button, make sure to subscribe, and you might as well follow me on X and TikTok at Stocks Talk Stocks. If you guys want, check out Interactive Brokers using my link down below, stocksurfest.com/interactive brokers. And with that being said, guys, cheers. Let's dive right into the video. So we had the Russell on the day go up 1.7%. Unbelievable. Let's start there with the Russell, which is the small caps index. You guys know that, which is not quite near all-time highs right now, but it has done very well over the past couple of months, from 1,600 now to about 2,000 points, and we're actually breaking above the 50 SMA as of the last couple of days of trading, it looks like, which is great. And here on this 10-day chart, you guys remember this ascending triangle we talked about last week? Well, it looks like that ended up playing out. Now we're breaking out. So this looks like it's well above 2,000 points. We're actually above the highs now. Looks like from the end of July, we're on our way back to the mid-2000s, maybe 2,100. That's my opinion here. And recently we hit 2,070. That was late last year, pretty much on the last day of trading last year. And, you know, that's the spot where I feel like we could be building momentum towards right now. And on SPY, if I pull this up, let me show you guys another all-time high today. This went up 0.8% on the day, building on the gains from the last couple of weeks. And we hit, let's see, 491.42 again, all-time high for SPY. And at this point, man, we're looking like 500. It's looking like 500 is right around the corner on SPY as triple Q. Let me pull it up and show you guys this. This went up over 1% on the day. And actually, let me correct myself. We didn't hit an all-time high on triple Q today. That was my mistake. That was on, it looks like, Thursday of last week, Wednesday of last week. Either way, we're about $1.50-60 away from all-time highs right now. My mistake. Sorry, guys. NASDAQ did not hit all-time highs today, but come on. It's pretty much right there, man. It's pretty much right there. We'll see if it hits that point at some point tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a big day. We have Google, we have Microsoft, we have AMD, 3 big companies. We'll talk about them here in a second. First, let me pull the Dow up, which did hit an all-time high. So the Dow and the S&P today, guys, hit all-time highs. Dow hit 38,343, which, you know, it's inching closer and closer to the next milestone, which is 40,000 points. And who knows, do we get that on this leg up? Do we pull back, then hit 40K? Do we never hit 40K? Which I doubt. Eventually we will, but the question is, again, when will we hit 40K? Either way, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, guys, on these indexes. What a freaking day, man. What a start to the week here. So the first company that I want to break down for tomorrow, which is my biggest individual stock holding, you guys probably know that, it is Google, ticker symbol GOOG, and I'm not going to lie, I'm going to keep it real. This thing is, I don't want to say priced to perfection, but you could argue it is, or you can just look at the chart and be like, it's kind of overbought, which it is. It's overbought heading into earnings, guys. We've pretty much had no red days. Sure, we've, you know, maybe had a couple, 1 or 2 or 3, but since the beginning of this year, Google has just been going nuts. From 135, 36-ish, it was at on the 8th of this month alone, and now it's at 154 as of today's close, which is a 13% move. Just this month alone, Google's up, Alphabet's up 13%. It's kind of been, I don't want to say, well, you can't say it's flying under the radar. It's Alphabet. It's one of the biggest companies in the world, but you could argue that not many people have been talking about an almost 15% move in about 3 weeks that we've seen so far this month, or, you know, in the past 3 weeks. It's been pretty nuts for Google. So heading into earnings, yes, it is a bit overbought. and they are projected to do, let's see, EPS of $1.59, which is good compared to the $1.05 from last year, on revenue of $85.29 billion versus $76.05 from last year. So that's going to be up about 12% on average, projected. Again, these are all estimates year over year. 12% year over year for a company the size of Google. That's pretty good. If you ask me, guys, that is pretty good. So we're seeing this completely, we called this triangle out a couple of weeks ago, guys. That played out. We're completely breaking out now heading into earnings, which for me, to be honest, you want me to be blunt, I don't really give a crap what happens this earnings. Yeah, sure, I want the company to do well, but in terms of the stock price, I don't really care. Either way, I'm long, and I'm probably not going to buy more. I'm definitely not going to sell. So I'm just kind of chilling before earnings, as, again, this is my biggest individual stock holding. So, I'm not too worried about it. I feel like Alphabet is doing very well. They're a big player in the AI race, which is probably a big reason why the stock's been moving this month with NVIDIA and some other big AI players. But, yeah, I mean, look, this is going to be one worth watching. I think we might have just hit an all-time high. Yeah, today Google hit an all-time high. So, yeah, does this push higher after earnings? Time will tell. Either way, I'm long, and I'm not selling Google, guys. No way. And Microsoft, fun fact, I was talking about this on my TikTok live earlier. Again, make sure to go follow me on TikTok at Stocks Talk Stocks. I go live there pretty much every single day between 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. or in power hour. So make sure you guys follow me on TikTok at Stocks Talk Stocks. So, yeah, we talked about how Microsoft is actually bigger now, market cap-wise, than Apple. It's by a slim margin, but I think Microsoft's $3.05 trillion, Apple's now $2.95 trillion, and it's, well, a lot to do. It has a lot to do with this big move that we've seen in just the past 3 weeks. Microsoft's up from around 368 to now 411. It's up 12%. Not as much as Google, but still up a lot, heading into these earnings, which are coming out tomorrow. And I believe 411 is an all-time high, is it not? Oh, it sure is, guys. Yep, we just hit another all-time high for Microsoft, which has been hitting all-time highs for the last couple of weeks. I mean, this thing's been pushing all-time highs for a week. So we have their earnings tomorrow. They're looking to do on average $2.78 for EPS versus $2.32 from last year on revenue of $61.1 billion. And I'm not too sure exactly what the the number was from last year, but $61.1 billion of revenue is what we're looking at for Microsoft, and again, EPS of $2.78. So this one's arguably priced to perfection heading into earnings, in my opinion. Same with this one right here, Advanced Micro Devices, which is up from, think about this, $92 end of October, early November, now to $178, $180. This thing is up around 91%. That is freaking insane. So we have AMD set to report tomorrow, I believe, after the bell. So they're looking to do EPS of 77 cents versus 69 cents from last year. So that's going to be up, which is nice. And revenue, let's see, $6.12 billion versus $5.6 from last year. That's going to be up 9.3% year over year. Not bad, but for a company that's ran up double, it's priced to perfection pretty much, sky-high valuations to only grow 9%. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Is that priced in? Is it? I mean, obviously the market knows. Does the market not care? We'll see, man. We'll see how the stock reacts after earnings. I mean, we saw Intel, another company in the space. They reported their stock went down 12% on that day. Not to say AMD is going to do the same, but just keep your eyes on it. Be careful. I'm not a big earnings trader personally, so I'm not looking to jump in this and gamble on it. Either way, you guys know I'm watching it. I might hop in it after earnings, even if it means I miss out on the move. It's all good. It happens. Starbucks is one that's very beaten down heading into earnings. A little flip, a little bit of a different chart here, right? We flipped it, essentially. This thing's down 13% in the past 2-3 months, And we can see, look, interesting price action here. So we reported, or they reported numbers back in early November. The stock shot up like crazy from 91 all the way up to about 107. And now we're pretty much right back to 91. This thing's erased all the gains from last earnings report. So let's see, man. Does this thing hold 90 after earnings, which clearly has held over the past couple of months? That point needs to hold as support for Starbucks. And do we start moving back towards $100? Does $100 ultimately break? Let's see. This thing's been definitely choppy. Starbucks has definitely been struggling as a company, as a stock in the short term, no doubt. But we'll see. They're looking to do EPS of 93 cents versus 75 cents from last year on revenue of $9.61 billion. And let's be honest, man, who doesn't like them? Some Starbucks. Starbucks is solid. I'm not a big Starbucks goer where I'm like, oh, I can't go a day without Starbucks. But I do go maybe once or twice a month. And it's pretty decent. Now, is it the best coffee I've ever had in my life? I don't know, to be honest. It might be. Some drinks are really good. But it's I don't know. We'll see if it bounces back. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. It's good coffee, arguably a bit expensive, but people still buy it. That's the reality. People still buy it. So the last one I want to cover in this video is Pfizer, PFE, which we all know has been struggling. Nobody's really surprised there. The stock's down big time, and this company's been, well, seeing a big drop in sales from the CV, right? The CV shot. Not many people are getting that, or not nearly as many. It's down. The sales are down, I think, 70-80% from last year alone, or maybe that's from the peak. Either way, they're down big time. I have to double check that. But just to show you guys these estimates, it'll give you some insight here. EPS for Pfizer is projected to be negative 22 cents. So they're going to lose money this quarter versus the $1.14 profit from last year. So Pfizer's EPS going red. And their revenue, guys, are you ready for this? $14.43 billion versus $24.29 billion from last year. That's going to be down 41 almost percent year over year, which for Pfizer is nutty, guys, nutty. So yeah, that's what happens when you see a massive boom, You guys saw the sales jump for Pfizer due to the CV shot, and now we're getting the other end of that, right? The back half of that, where it's kind of like, oh, now we're selling off as those sales have cratered, and now Pfizer's trying to find the next thing. But this is arguably a decent value play right now. The dividend's like 6.5%. You could also argue it's a value trap. I don't know. But it's trading at multi-year lows, guys. If you look at this chart, Pfizer has not been in the high 20s since, or at least it bottomed out as of now at 25.50. We haven't hit 25.50, no joke, in about a decade. This is actually insane if you think about it. Let me draw this line out for you guys exactly at the low from just a couple of weeks ago. If you guys take a look here, look at this. The last time we hit this mark right here was back in 2020, March 2020, we hit roughly $26. Then before that, Pfizer, last time it was in the mid-20s, was August of 2014. That is about a decade ago. So, yeah, Pfizer's trading at a pretty much decade low at this point. Decade low. So for me, guys, I'm eyeing it up. I did nibble a little bit, kind of like an initial position in my, one account. And, I might grow it a little bit. Nothing crazy. It's not going to be my biggest stock, but I think it's one of those that's more of a value play right now. We'll see. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. And I guess with that being said, we might as well wrap up the video. Hit the like button, drop that subscribe button, or not drop that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button. Do that. And don't forget to get up to 15 stocks for Moomoo, each up to $2,000, guys. Fund your account with at least $100. Using that link down below, you get 5 stocks. And fund it with at least $1,000. You get 10 more stocks, totaling 15 stocks, each of which could be valued up to $2,000, guys. So get your free money for Moomoo, and feel free to check out Interactive Brokers. That's also linked down below, guys. 2 phenomenal places to trade stocks. So check out those links. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys later.